Welcome to WO50, Women Over 50 in Body, Wisdom, and Wellness.
Yes, we do. And today we're talking about the wisdom and the wellness as we do most weeks. My name is Corrine, and I'm here with my BFF, Eddi. And today our topic is habit reboot. You can actually teach an old dog new tricks.
Yes, and we are old dogs learning new tricks every day.
Yeah, we talked about the importance of it, why it's important to, it's hard for people to learn new habits even when they're young, and it's harder even as our brains, as we get older. And we talked about ways of helping you to see where you might be stuck in some ways. We really did the metaphor for the algorithms, like your algorithm of your life and the algorithms of your social media.
Yeah, so important. And we had some personal stories in there, and we had a little message about flamingos.
Oh yeah, the flamingo story. You have to listen to Eddi's new Find Your Pink. You had to listen to the podcast to find that out, to find your pink. All right, enjoy the reboot. Hi, Eddi.
Hello, Ken. It's been so long.
We texted each other while I was in Canada, but we have not seen each other on Zoom, nor have we even, I think we spoke for a minute on Sunday a few days ago, but we have not had a good catch up in over 3 weeks, which is not like us.
No, we had really active summers, and and we thought of each other lots, and
we did text each other.
And,
exactly. Yeah, which is fine. And I just, when I'm in Canada, it's so all consuming. It's just, that's the only way I can describe it. It was amazing and I loved it, but it's so all consuming because there's always something. I'm either picking my mom up to bring her over, drop her off, or playing cards, or making dinner, or hiking with my sister. Or it's like, me, I don't have a busy life like that. I got a lot of space. Yeah, I know.
You know how it is.
You have a very busy life. Yes. So
because that's what I'm doing. Yeah,
all the time.
Cards and the grandkids but it's fun.
And your mother. Yeah.
I mean, I think as we get older, we have to fit a lot of different things in. Like we have to make the time too for our older parents and our kids, and everything has to be kind of sorted out.
Yeah, I mean, we have different time. Like even though you're still working, I think I think you've always prioritized, have your time off and getting the best out of it. I think you've always been really good at that. But I think maybe prioritizing spending more time with your family, maybe as we get older. I know for me, going up to Canada for 3 weeks. I mean, it is selfish in the fact that the weather's way better up there this time of year. But my mom, I just want to spend more time with my mom. She's going to be 85 in November.
Yeah, I know it's really important. And also I know that you did a lot of hiking. Didn't you go out and do
I did hiking every single day, and my sister walks at mock speed. My sister and my mom have always been fast walkers anyway. Those people that are really fast walkers. You have long legs, but you don't. And you probably slow down for me, I'm sure. But you're not like my sister. Literally, my sister-in-law, who has longer legs even than you, and is a major, her solid muscles in her legs. She has a hard time keeping up with my sister, and she's got legs twice as long as her. I don't know how she does it, but anyways. So yes, I was hiking, and my sister's big thing was this is one of the points I wanted to make, because our topic is Eddi was leading me into it. So our topic today is the habit reboot. You actually can teach an old dog new tricks, and how we do that. So Eddi and I were just talking about the fact that, she loves working out and hiking and swimming and doing all the stuff she does, and kayaking. I love the meditation and the silent retreats and the, gardening and things. And so I have to push myself to do more cardio, more weights, more things, hiking. And you have to push yourself maybe to have more space in your schedule. So you've kind of got to look, because the algorithms, that's the point I wanted to make, is the algorithms are going to fit where you are now and not necessarily going to push you. And your brain is like that too. So the algorithms on your devices are like that. And your brain is like it. It's got well-worn grooves of your habits. Even if they're really good habits, it's great, but to diversify, right?
That's right. And it's so important for the brain, and neither one is better than the other. We talked a bit about that where, I love good food and I love exercise, but the meditation, yoga is equally important.
Mm-hmm.
And when we start developing new habits like swimming, I love to swim, but I was never a good swimmer. And now I'm attempting to fit it into my schedule twice a week and to learn some new ways of swimming, not just,
Mm-hmm.
kind of the side stroke, or I don't know, maybe it was the Olympics
I
inspired
was
me.
going to say, did you get inspired by the Olympics? Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think so. And, especially Summer, she was this
The
17-year-old that was just
Canadian. Yes.
amazing. And then to hear that her mom competed in that same
Yes.
meter swim that she actually took a medal in. And that was just like, and her mom's there so proud. And, you can only imagine how that would feel. And I'm going, I can bring that good feeling over into, I can learn to swim. I can better the breaststroke and, you know, enhance my dog paddle a little bit. And,
And
you
you
know,
also had a fear of the water too. I want to mention that, right? Because you
yeah,
almost drowned when you were young.
I did when I was 11 years old. Yeah, I got pushed into the swimming pool deep end by my cousin, and I really didn't know how to swim. And then I got
Mm-hmm.
pulled out, and yeah, it kind of sticks with you,
Oh,
that
yeah.
respect of water and the
Mm-hmm.
ocean. And so, yeah, in my life now, I've done lots of things that have kind of ridden my edge a bit more, especially
Mm-hmm.
with the water, with sailing and yeah, swimming. So, and I think also people think as they get older, no, I'm too old to do
Yeah.
that, and
Yeah.
my feet are getting worn out, and I'm supposed to slow down. I'm like, you can get inserts for your feet, your shoes, like
Mm-hmm.
to maybe change the
Mm-hmm.
layout of the land of your feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, don't let the body stop you. You might walk slower, you might walk
Mm-hmm.
faster, but just walk. Find
Mm-hmm.
what that is you can do in your life that gives you movement, that little bit of
Mm-hmm.
cardio, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
a fast pace for a few minutes and then slow
Mm-hmm.
it down. Like finding something that works into your life, your lifestyle. Like you
Mm-hmm.
said, the algorithms that we need to set up and get them in place, especially now.
Yeah, because one of the biggest challenges I have as a life coach is to find out what motivates people to create new habits. Because they're obviously somewhat motivated when they come to see me because they're paying to see me. But and gosh, I meant to listen to this again, but I was listening to a Trevor Noah podcast, and they were talking about how doing something doesn't actually have a lot to do with discipline.
Mm.
It's actually, we are way more affected by what we're motivated by. So, I remember. So, you remember that test they had with the marshmallows and the kids who were like 3 and 4 or 5 years old, where this is a world famous test, and where they'd tell the kid what there'd be a kid in the room alone, quite a young kid, but old enough to understand the consequences. So, I guess maybe 4, 5, 6, and they'd say, okay, there's a marshmallow in front of you, and you can have this now. Like if you have this, when I leave the room, if you eat it now, you get this, and if you don't eat it when I get back, then you'll get 2 marshmallows, right? So this study was done for years, and they found out that the kids who would eat the marshmallow right away, they have a certain path that they would follow in life, and the people that would wait for that want the two, they have a certain pathway in life, right? They can tell where the brain's going. So now that they've changed the study, they tried it with, if you eat this marshmallow now, you get to eat the one marshmallow, but if you wait, if you eat this marshmallow now, there's another child in another room who won't get a marshmallow at all. But if you wait, the other child will get a marshmallow. And so all the kids were actually more motivated by affecting somebody else
Yeah.
than they were for the instant gratification. So it's not that it's so that it's like yeah, when there's somebody else involved, it's like you
Mm.
feel it, I guess maybe it takes you out of yourself. It was really interesting to, there was several other studies too, but the one thing I got out of it, well, the main thing is it's motivation, because they were talking about our devices and how, you can set certain limitations for your device and stuff. And then other people are trying to rely on their, like I say, I'm relying on my awareness and my discipline. And they said that usually doesn't work because, you've got the smartest people in the world trying to figure out how to trap your attention on these devices. So to,
And look who encouraged you, your sister, while you're in Canada, right?
for
You
what?
got to hike for
Oh,
hiking
yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
exercise.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, but yeah, so let me talk. So my
Oh yeah.
motivation for hiking is my sister. So we it's funny to talk about algorithms. She starts to tell me about all these studies that she's been listening to that say how important, like Peter Attia and all these hardcore guys, about how important as we age as to get like your heart rate up a lot several times a day, like intensely amount. And I said, no, no,
Oh.
no, no, no. Hormonal women, menopausal women after 50, you've got to do more gentle. Yes, you need cardio, but you don't need. She said, nope, that's not what I listen to. And I'm like, but these are guys. And she goes, nope, they've done the studies. And I was like, well, that's your algorithm. Obviously, because my algorithm is like, you got to be more gentle. So that's sort of what made me. But my motivation actually was the feeling I got. So I was motivated because I wanted to spend more time with her. The weather's amazing. She likes to get up and do it first thing. So I would get up earlier, meditate earlier, be upstairs to go hiking with her. And I just, by the fifth or sixth day of doing, not overly intense, but pretty intense cardio, I could feel it in my body. I had more energy because it raises your testosterone. It's just, there's so
Mhm.
many things that it helps with your overall energy level. And that's kind of my main thing that I deal with. Because that when I am gardening or walking, I'm not raising my heart level that much. And I've never been one, I don't like cardio. I've never liked cardio. I'm not a runner, not a jogger. I'm not a biker. So I have to have
Mhm.
hiking to get my cardio or stairs or whatever, right? But it did
Mhm.
feel really good. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
you were able to change it up. You're because you're so set in the morning, you're so good. You wake up and you start meditating like you're and for years I'm like, I just slept all night. I'm not going to meditate right away. Like I got to get up and do something. And then we have I always feel it's like every 5 years we're shifting something. We shift the type of exercise we like to do. We shift the foods or recipes. We shift sometimes our yoga, our style of yoga, our
Mm-hmm.
hair, what creams we use on our face. Like we're
Mm-hmm.
always meditation, even we go, oh, I need to lengthen it, or I'm going to change the time, but we still have this bag full of things or choices that we have in our lives that are really, really, really important. And as we age, as we get older, it's so important that we do them. They
Yeah.
they're motivating. Like you start not only the feel good is the motivator, but the energy shifts and your cortisol levels balance out. Like you said, the testosterone levels kind of come up, and that's the drive, right? And it even for mental health, like it's huge
But again,
to
yeah, yeah,
exercise and
yes. Yeah, it's
and
amazing.
meditate.
But to know that, like, it's the same with me when I'm telling people how amazing meditation is. It doesn't matter what studies I cite to my students. I've got to figure out what motivates them to get them to meditate regularly, right? For
Mm-hmm.
you, it was your divorce and dealing with that that got you finally to start meditating every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so we have to figure out what motivates us. Now, one of the things that motivates me is seeing older people and how they stop moving, they stop doing things, they get stiff. My
Mm-hmm.
mom, even though she has high blood pressure, and so she stopped walking even the slightest hill. My sister and I were trying to figure out when, like maybe even 15 years ago or 20 years ago, she'd get out of breath and so instead of pushing herself, she just stopped walking hills. And I was like, I don't like cardio, don't like walking hills, but I do it. And
Mm-hmm.
now that I've seen how much better I feel, and I don't want to be like her, like, because my mom's amazing. So, but I don't want to be like
Yes.
her in that way, you
Mm-hmm.
know? and it only gets harder as we get older, like keeping fit. Our bodies do change. That's just a fact.
Mhm.
And so really figuring out which ways where the grooves are strong. And because, man, like I said, those algorithms, it's a good example of this. So Olympics started. I was at my sister's and watched the first couple of days with her, right?
Mhm.
Amazing. Saw part of the opening ceremony, watching it. We get to my brother's house, and all my brother could talk about was how awful the opening was and how there's a whole transgender or gay community that has put down the Christians, and it's all over
Oh,
his social media. Did you hear
wow.
anything about this? I heard nothing
Yeah,
about
I
this.
heard tons about it, and I watched it, and I just thought the opening was artistic, creative, and yes, that whole language did go through that it was, making fun of some type of religion thing. But when I read the other side of it, it wasn't. It was trying to incorporate, like, it's in France. I mean, it's in Paris, right? Well, and it's going to be fashionable, but I don't think it was. I could be wrong, but I didn't that it was offensive. I didn't think it was offensive. I thought it was very creative.
Yeah, I did too. I didn't even get it. And
Yeah.
because my sister's algorithm and we didn't hear anything about it. So I was watching the Olympics for at least 5, 6 days before I heard, and I still have not ever seen anything about it. I've talked to a few people like you. Yeah, I heard something about it,
Yeah.
but his algorithm was that.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, all these people they're not even watching the Olympics." And then I started asking
Uh,
people, and no, everybody's watching the
yeah.
Olympics. It's fine.
Yeah.
So but that's how our brains are too. We
Hmm.
don't even realize where we're stuck. We
Yeah.
don't
Energy
realize
goes where the,
yeah,
yeah.
where we have narrow vision.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. I the Olympics, it was amazing. For me, it was really inspirational because they definitely have superpowers. And watching them from this age, where I've watched the Olympics, my whole life, every
Yeah.
4 years,
Yeah.
and just seeing how fast everybody is now. Like, they're breaking world records. Like, isn't that fast enough already? Like, what are you, a machine? Like, wow. And I even read an article that said about the gold, bronze, and silver medals that were given out, and that when they measured the happiness factor, those that got bronze medals measured happier, where silver thought, I missed getting a gold.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that wild? So
Yeah.
there's that,
Yeah.
there's an algorithm for you. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
going, I'd just be happy to get a medal. Like, I think I told Strat, I think I'm going to be in the Olympics in my 80s so I could at least get a medal,
You
because there'll
said
be
that.
only three of us. Yeah, because there'll be just three of us.
See, and that's interesting that so I've not watched the Olympics much. It's only if I'm around people that are watching it. And then I enjoy it, but I get angst. I get angst with the people that don't win. I get angst with the people that like when I was watching that freaking volleyball game, like it was
Oh,
exciting,
yeah.
but it was just like it was anxiety. I can't. It's like
Yeah.
I don't like feeling, so that's why I've kind of, and
Hmm.
then I feel bad for the people that didn't make it, and they work their whole lives
Yeah.
and then they don't even, and so even to
Yeah.
be considered, but that in the Olympics, and then it get a medal, and then the people that work for the Olympics don't even get into the Olympics, and then the
Yeah.
whole weirdness about, I don't know if you saw, it was so good. If you haven't seen it yet, it's on Netflix. That documentary on the gymnast from the
Biles.
USA, Simone Biles. And
Yeah.
did you watch it?
Amazing.
Did you watch the
Amazing.
documentary?
Not yet. I watched
It is
her
so
in the
so
Olympics,
you
but not
have
the
to watch the
documentary.
documentary.
Yeah. Okay.
I
That's on
watched
my
it
list.
after I started watching the Olympics. I actually watched the documentary, and it meant so much more. And then also too how awful it was for the young female gymnast, because she was involved in the sexual assault with that doctor, and that was part of her breakdown, of
Wow.
it was unresolved emotions and stuff. But then how, if you look at the gymnasts from 20, 30 years ago, and how tiny they were and how young they were, and
Yeah.
talks about coaches, shows coaches that push the girls, and I'm sure all athletes, even when they were injured.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's the part that I don't, I mean, yes, I see how amazing the athletes are, but it's different. Like, I'm not an athlete, so I look
Hmm.
at it differently. You've always been active, so you look at it totally different. So
Yeah.
so our brains and the way we look at things are very, very, very set. Like our neural pathways, it's almost like a well-trodden path, like a hiking trail you've been down where there's thousands and
Mhm.
thousands of people that go on it. So when you're creating a new neural pathway to do something different, it's like bushwhacking and creating
Mhm.
like a brand new path. So it is takes a lot of effort. And so you and I are really lucky that we reflect each other. You're strong in some ways where I'm not, and then it helps us to do better in different ways. Like, I know I've been an inspiration for you for your meditation practice, and you've been a major inspiration for me for eating healthier and my health and wellness and stuff. And so to have, because it is hard. So that's why we wanted to focus on this today. I think we touch on it in a lot of our podcasts, but
Mhm.
but I really want to, really make a point of how challenging it is to create a new habit when you're young.
Yeah.
So as
Yeah.
we get older, it gets even harder. So you take a look at what you think you might, if you say, well, I just don't do that, right? Like, so for
Yeah.
instance, I got some new sneakers with my sister when we were hiking. She was like, oh yeah, I got these amazing, she's a runner too. She's like, I got these amazing shoes. They measured my foot and I went walking and they showed me what kind of, the sole is an amazing place. They watch you walk. And I'm like, I want to go there. She goes, yeah, yeah, I'll take you there. So I went there and I felt like when I got my foot, they watched my walking and I got some really good, I'm very excited, some good hiking walking shoes. And
Great.
I felt like I could walk faster the next day with her. I could walk faster.
Yeah. Well,
And
that's funny. Oh, yeah. Keep going.
yeah, no, the point I was going to make, so when I was walking, the guy, it was a running store, right? The actual, so they're all runners in there, and he's not just the shoes, but the people in there. And because in Canada, we call sneakers running shoes. So runners are sneakers. So anyways, but they watched me walk, and he goes something about running. And I was like, oh, no, 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 I don't run. And he goes, but maybe you will. And I'm like, nope, nope, not going to happen. Not going to do it. But I mean, it's mostly because my boobs are too big and it hurts. And that's the reason.
Yeah.
But I also, so even though I do have that boundary, I also am changing it to do more cardio. So because a lot of times we say, well, I just don't do that. And then you close
Mhm.
off. So take a look at the things where you say, that's not who I am. That's not what I like. My
Mhm.
brother is very much like that. He is so, and you see older people, man, they are so set in their ways. My dad had dinner the same time every night, had the same
Yeah.
thing almost for dinner every night. And
Mhm.
so that does happen as we get older. The frontal lobe stops growing unless you're learning new things or meditating.
That's right. And that's proven. That's
Yes, that's proven.
science.
Yeah.
That's proven. What came into my head when you were measured for your running shoe is years ago, I went to a place in Nashville actually that measured me for running shoes. It must be 25 years or 30 years ago. And I had to walk on a treadmill and they videoed my gait, right?
Yep. Yeah,
So,
that's
and
what they
then they
do.
review,
Yeah.
so that, yeah.
Yeah.
And then so I'm sitting down and I looked at the guy and I'm like, okay. And it's the back of your legs. You're walking, you're seeing the back of you. And I'm looking at the video and I went, is that me? He goes, yeah, yeah, that's your legs. I'm like, oh my God, they look like my little brothers.
That's
They look
funny.
like the same shape as my
Yeah.
younger brother's backs of
Yeah.
his legs. It made me laugh because
That's
we don't
hilarious.
get to see that part of ourselves,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
We don't,
yeah.
we're looking, go, wow.
Oh,
And
yeah.
and we watch other people walk and they're pronating or they're
Supinating.
bow-legged or they're yeah,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Things that
Oh, yeah.
are subluxating, whatever's happening to
Mm-hmm.
the spine. And all that can be shifted and worked on. And, I met a gal the other day and she does all the feet stuff for people who are getting older. And she makes sure your foot is landing right. And a lot of people, as they get older, go up half a size
Oh,
and they
yeah.
don't ever readjust their footwear because they
Right.
don't want to be bigger than a 7 or an 8.
Yes.
I'm not 8.5. And
Yes.
a
You've dealt
lot
with
of
that with
older people,
stress, mom.
Yes, because she squeezes into the same shoe size, and I'm like, your feet are they're about a whole size bigger. You need. No, I don't. She says.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
pretty amazing what we have to adjust to and acknowledge and go,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay, I don't want to run because my knees are hurting now, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe if I speed up and I can, walk faster, like I'm trying to get home because I
Mm-hmm.
forgot to turn the stove off fast, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then slow it down and do that for a little bit, or
Mm-hmm.
swim 4 laps and then stop. Like go to a spin class and
Mm-hmm.
sit in, and you get to adjust the tension of the bike. Like there's so many things you can do that the body just knows how to adjust. We just got to involve the mind.
Well, and I don't want to just talk about exercise too. We talked about that before. So,
Yes, but the food
it
even.
yeah, your food, it's your space, your time, your hopefully meditation practice or your, quiet time. It's looking at ways in your life that you might be stuck or not pushing yourself. I've got a friend of mine who's a dancer and she's amazing. Her name is Mihaela and she's a meditation teacher too. And she's like 75 now. She looks like 60.
Wow.
Everybody can't believe she's 75, but she's actually famous on TikTok for doing a little dance routine. And she says, I just turned 73 today. This was a couple years ago. And people were like, she got blown up. Anyway, she was a dancer when she was young. She's got some knee issues now. So she can't do as much as she did, but she's now taking ballroom dancing and is doing a recital in a couple of weeks. So,
Wow.
and
Isn't
she's
that
like a little
great?
nervous, but because she's never danced with a partner before. But these are the kinds of things that, I'm talking about. I mean, I tried to get my dad, he'd be not what, 89 or something now if he had lived. He died like 3 years ago. And when his eye was like he had all kinds of mouth and eye issues with cancer, but the last few months of his life, and I knew that he would like love Audible or podcasts, right? He would have
Mm,
none of it. I'm not going to listen to
mm,
that stuff. It's just like listening to the radio, but he was so closed down to anything
mm,
new. So my
mm,
my my hope is that if you're listening to this, you stay open,
mhm.
and you look at where you're stuck. You try to see yourself or ask somebody who loves and you love and respect, who loves and respects you, and say, what are the ways where you think I'm stuck? What are ways
Yeah.
do you think I could look at things differently, see things differently, and do things differently?
Do you know my sweet niece was home today? She just landed, and I ran in to have a visit with her, and she's doing women's studies in Ontario right now, and working on her PhD. And she's an amazing human. And I said, you're looking well. You're doing great. She goes, yeah, we had to move because I lost my pink. I said, you lost your pink? She goes, yeah, haven't you ever heard that saying? I'm like, no. She goes, well, when you lose your pink, you've got to find a way to get the good life feeling back into you. She said, and the saying comes from when the pink flamingos feed their young, they care for them, they spend their whole lifetimes, they start to lose their pink. Their color actually fades. And once they got the young raised and out on their own, they go out and they start feeding on the high beta carotene foods and all the things that bring their color
And
back,
they get their pink back.
and they get their pink back.
Wow, that is
Isn't that
awesome.
great?
That is so
I said,
great.
Carla, I am using that on our podcast. She goes, sure.
Yes.
I said, imagine you're gay and you're getting your pink back. This is great.
Yeah, I mean, it's so because that's what
Oh,
we do. We
sweet.
lose our pink when we're focused on other people or burning the candle at both ends or not doing enough self-care.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not enough self care. So I love that. I'm getting my pink
Mm-hmm.
back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Beautiful.
never even knew that. See how
Never,
we learned
never
something
had a
new?
clue. Not
Yeah.
a clue.
Yep. So
Good one,
let's
Ed.
get our pink. Let's get our pink. And I love pink
Yes,
anyway. So
me too. We all have different pinks though. I love bright pink and you love this paler pink.
I
That's
do.
yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
pale pink, but it doesn't look good on me. And I think you like the bright pink, but it doesn't look good on you.
Exactly. She's more of a summer, and I'm like a cool summer. We'll have to do a
Hmm.
podcast about that sometime.
The colors.
the
Yeah.
colors and how important it is to get the right kind of white next to your skin, or the white blouse or the white jacket or off white or tan.
Yeah, it's
But
so true because you do really well with white, I think it is. And I
no, off
cannot.
white.
Oh, off white. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of whites that I can't wear, and there's some whites you can't wear. Yeah. It's very interesting.
No, same with pink, the same with green, same with blues.
Yeah.
Like the colors palette is so amazing, right?
Hmm.
It's the
And we're
same.
naturally drawn, even if you're not a clothing person or a color person, unless you're colorblind, of course, but you are naturally drawn. I believe you're naturally drawn the color you need to wear every day, whatever you reach in the closet.
Absolutely.
Like I used to tell people, the reason why people in New York wear black all the time is because there's such a huge population of people in New York, and black protects your energy. And I
Mm.
noticed I don't wear much black, but you there was a time in your life when you used to wear black, and you can see
I
why.
did.
So it's like
Yeah.
protecting your energy. So whenever I'm reaching for a black top or jeans in my closet, I know I've got low energy, and I'll check it in with myself. And sure enough, oh, I've got low energy today. I'm just kind of protecting my energy. And all the colors have that, but we're naturally drawn, not even
Yes.
thinking about it. Yeah.
But it's beautiful. Just open your closet and look inside. Like I remember my closet was like so much black, like took up over half the closet.
Before
You
your
now
divorce.
you have to search. Yeah, then now you not you said that twice. Not that everyone has to get a divorce to actually meditate and get a new wardrobe.
That was just your
Yeah.
motivation.
Yeah, well, one part of
One of
it,
them.
yeah.
One of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
of them. Like it's like what we talked about. Eating well, exercising, meditating, yoga, connection, friendships, positivity, decreasing toxins in our lives, enhancing awareness, like on and on, right? The list
Mhm.
is
Yeah.
set your own algorithm, create your own
Yes.
habit,
Yes.
learn a new trick. You can
Yes.
teach an old dog a new trick.
You can. Eddi and I are here to prove, we're here proving it for ourselves. And we want to hear from you when you ask a friend, or you see yourself, but you ask a friend, where do you think I'm stuck or set in my ways? And what do you think I could benefit from being more open or doing things differently? Take a instrument lesson of some kind. Learn an instrument if you don't play one, or if you play one, learn a new song. I used to say that to Eddi. It's like, that's why I love new picking patterns on the guitar, is to learn pathways. So
Yeah,
yes.
be a flamingo. Find your pink.
Yeah.
That's right.
That was so fun, Eddi. Thank you. I love you so
Thank
much.
you. Love
Thanks,
you.
y'all. Hope you all are having a wonderful end of your summer. Much love.
Much love.